Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय।
Jai
श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय।
Jai
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai
समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।
Jai.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I welcome you once again to our daily Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita session. Today is December 4th for us, December 3rd for you, 2025. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 9, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's travels to the holy places in South India. We are in text 49, and the context is this: Mahaprabhu is in this particular village where various philosophers, Brahmanas, so various philosophers came and they were all presenting their particular conclusions of their philosophy, and Mahaprabhu defeated everyone um, on the basis of Vedanta, Vedas, Upanishads, and Vedanta. And after being defeated by Mahaprabhu, they all surrendered and they became devotees. So one Buddhist leader also came and he wanted to establish the 9 philosophical conclusions of Buddhism. Uh, but his authority for that debate was logic. He was not, because they reject Vedas. So his uh, technique or his authority of for presenting his arguments was logic. So Mahaprabhu defeated this person on the basis of logic only, not on the basis of Shastra or anything, but directly on the basis of logic. He completely annihilated this Buddhist leader's philosophy. So one of the 9, what do you say, philosophical conclusions of Buddhism is that, the very first one, in fact, is that creation is always in existence, and therefore there is no creation. And if there is, so that because it's already existing, it's not that creation is taking place. This cosmic manifestation, this creation is always there. So because it is always there, what is the need of a creator? There is no creator. So we saw that yesterday in the purport, how Srila Prabhupada has presented. Does anyone remember what is the counter that uh, we can give to them when they say there is no creator? Do you remember what is the counter argument from the devotee side? You don't remember? Okay. So, creator, there is no creator. When they say there is no creator, then, but there's another point. What is their ultimate goal? Nirvana. Nirvana means annihilation. So the first counter argument would be, if if there is no creation, where is the question of annihilation? On one hand, you are saying that there is no creation, yet your goal is annihilation. How can there be annihilation if there is no creation? And if you're saying there is annihilation, there has to be creation. You understand? So creation has to be there. So then the next point is, because their point is there is no need of any creator, because creation is always there, so there is no creator also. So once you establish that there is creation, then for creation to be there, there has to be a creator. Nothing manifests on its own. Or show me anything where things are happening on its own. So when there is creation, creation itself is a proof that there is a creator. So then you may say, okay, the creator can be one of us, maybe you, me, or my grandfather, great grandfather. No, because matter is inferior to spirit. And the other point is, matter comes from spirit. You take the example of anything, right? Uh, citrus, citric acid. Citric acid comes from where? It comes from spirit or from matter? From the plant. Plant means there is a spirit soul. That's why there is growth. It produces fruits, and from that you get the chemical, citric acid. So everything, whatever you take this body also, there is sweat and so many things coming from this body. How? Because there is spirit soul. If there is no spirit soul, do you get matter? No. How this body is also formed? This body is formed because once the spirit soul enters, then that there is development of body. So it is very clear to us that matter comes from spirit. So this, you take this whole universal creation as matter, that also has to come from spirit. So this body is coming from individual spirit, or this body is developed on the basis of individual spirit, soul. So the universal matter has to come from the supreme spirit soul. So therefore, in this way, it is established that there is a creator, and also that creator is superior. He is transcendental to this material world, and he is the supreme spirit soul. In this way, uh, we saw, because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu defeated this Buddhist philosopher on the basis of logic. So here we are using purely logic. Mm. So then we finished that. And also from Bhagavad Gita, we saw Sarvataha Pani Padam Tat Sarvatokshi Shiromukham Sarvata. So this Lord, if he's the creator, he has to be all pervasive in the body also. That means he should know, the creator will know every nook and corner of his creation. So he is spread throughout, either through his energy or he's personally pervaded. So through his energy means you can say as Brahman, he's all pervading, and also as Paramatma, localized way also he's present. So the point is, such a creator must possess an all-pervasive body. Another point about the creator. So then we'll continue reading. The Supreme Spirit, Supreme Person must be present everywhere. His body exists. I think we read this also. Anyway, I'll just read it. He must be present everywhere. His body existed before the creation. Otherwise, he could not be the creator. So we discussed that, right? He has to be outside of creation. That means he should be there before creation. If the Supreme Person is a created being, there can be no question of a creator. The conclusion is that the cosmic manifestation is certainly created at a certain time, and the creator existed before the creation. Therefore, the creator is not a created being. The creator is Parabrahman, or the Supreme Spirit. Matter is not only subordinate to spirit but is actually created on the basis of spirit. When the spirit soul enters the womb of a mother, the mother is created by material ingredients supplied by the mother. Everything is created in the material world, and consequently, there must be a creator who is the supreme spirit and who is distinct from matter. I'm reading it quickly because I explained all this already to you just now. It is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita that the material energy is inferior and that the spiritual energy is the living entity. Both inferior and superior energies belong to a supreme person. So now, uh, the next argument. So this was about there is no creator and there is no creation. So that is countered based on logic. Next. So this is today's reading. The Buddhists argue that the world is false, but this is not valid. The world is temporary, but it is not false. As long as we have the body, we must suffer the pleasures and pains of the body, even though we are not the body. You understand? When you say you say the world is false, that means your pain is false, right? Your hunger is false. Is it like that? It is false. Do you feel pain or not? You feel pain. So to say that all this is false, it is not false. This material creation also is not false, actually. They say the Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya, that's Mayavad philosophy. And the Buddhists are voidists. There's nothing. According to them, there is nothing. It's just void, actually. So that's their goal, to annihilate everything and just stay in void. That's the ultimate goal, to just go to void. What kind of, I mean, inspiration would one have to just annihilate everything and just become void? But anyway, uh, yeah, let me go back. Hmm. So the pains of the body are, I was telling you that this material creation is also real. It's not false. The ingredients with which this material world is made, those 23 elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego, mahat, then uh, uh, what else? The five sense objects, form, touch, taste, ether, not ether, form, touch, taste, sound, smell, these things. The five senses, 10 senses, five working senses, five knowledge acquiring senses. In this way, there are 23 elements. These are the building blocks for this entire material creation. Are they false? Are they imaginary? No, they are real. The material world is real, and the ingredients and everything that is there, it is real. It's tangible. You touch it, it's there. It's true. But it is temporary because there is creation and then there is annihilation. It stays for some time and it's finished. It manifests and it unmanifests. So it is not that it is false. What is false? What is false? There is something which is false here. False ego. We have a false ego that I am this and this is mine. That is false. Claiming proprietorship here and identifying with the body, identifying that I am so and so, that is false. But the things, this material creation itself is not false. So to say Jagat Mithya, it's not correct. That's the point. Of course, pains and pleasures are also not false, but a spirit soul has no pain. The body gets pain, headache, right? Uh, and what else? My knees are hurting, my back is hurting. These pains are for the body, not for the spirit soul. Pains are not for spirit soul. Hunger is not for spirit soul. Spirit soul doesn't need rice dal sabji. No, spirit soul doesn't eat because that's matter. Spirit soul doesn't need, doesn't become hungry, and it doesn't get pain like that. But still I'm experiencing. Why I'm experiencing? Because of this false identification that I am this body. Then whatever is happening to this body, I am claiming it is happening to me. Body is made of what? Body has senses. Uh, Gross body, there is gross body. Gross body is made of the gross elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. If you see the composition of your, your skin, your muscle, your bone, your blood, your organs, right? Liver, heart, kidney, stomach, your brain, lungs, whatever you take in your body, if you break it down, what are the cells made of? Earth, water, fire, air, ether. So your gross body is made of these gross elements. And in the subtle body, you have the senses: uh, eyes, ears, nose. This is not my nose. This is made of gross elements. But there is the sense, nose, in the subtle body. Taragravarti means very, very minute, very, very small. And that is projected outside in the form of this nose. So there are senses, there are this gross body, there are senses, then you have mind, intelligence, chittam, false ego. This is what the body is made of. And each sense has a particular function. Eyes see, right? Mind is also one of the sense, by the way. Manaha shashtani indriyani prakritistani karshati. Including the mind, there are six senses, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So mind is also one sense. So eyes see, nose smell, tongue tastes, ears hear. And what does the mind do? Mind feels happy and feels sad, right? It desires and it hates. It likes and it dislikes. It feels happy, it feels sad. These are the functions of the mind. Like the function of the eye is to see, the function of the mind is to be happy and sad. And the spirit soul is way behind, right? These are all coverings on top of the spirit soul. The mind, intelligence, senses, all these are coverings on the spirit soul. Spirit soul is a different category. It is spiritual. This is material. Mind, intelligence, senses, body, all this is material. However, because of this false ego, this spirit soul, who is different from this body, claims the functions of the various, what do you say, parts of the body to be his functions. So when the mind is feeling happy, the soul claims, I am happy. When the mind is feeling sad, the soul claims, I am sad. You understand? So if my hand is hurting, the soul says, oh, my hand is hurting, like I am, as if it is happening to him. So that is false. Because of false identification, he's experiencing pains and pleasures in this world. When will this go away? This false ego, we get ahankara, we get after, when the creation begins, we get this ahankara. It's given to us by Prakriti. Given to us by Prakriti. Lord Brahma awards us based on our karma. Based on our karma, this is awarded to us, this false ego. Can we get out of this false ego on our own? No, it's not possible. We cannot get out of this false ego on our own. We will need help for us to come. So this false ego is given to us because originally we have this avidya. Avidya means ignorance. That avidya has to be removed. Then this false identification with the body will go away. So the point here is, the world is not false. What is false is my identification with this body. That is false. And because of that false identification, then I'm experiencing all these pains and pleasures. So now let's read what Srila Prabhupada is saying. The Buddhists argue that the world is false, but this is not valid. The world is temporary, but it is not false. Yes, the world is temporary because there is creation and annihilation. It lasts for some time. It is temporary. Same in this family also. We have relatives, right? My family members, they're not eternal family members. This is temporary. And even my identity in this world as belonging to this nation or that nation, it's not my, all this is coming from that false identification that I'm this body. So the world is temporary, but it is not false. As long as we have the body, we must suffer the pleasures and pains of the body, even though we are not the body. We may not take these pleasures and pains very seriously, but they are factual nonetheless. Yes, we feel. Why we feel? Because we are covered by that ahankar, that I am this body. So naturally we feel pain. We feel pain. You cannot say this is false. Can you tell if your child is feeling sick? Can you tell that, oh, you're not this body? That pain is not happening to you. Don't worry. It doesn't work like that. That pain is real. You're actually feeling that pain. But the reason you're feeling is because of that ahankar. So there is a method how to come remove that covering of our ahankar. There's a process. Bhakti, that's the process. So we may not take these pleasures and pains very seriously, but they are factual nonetheless. So you cannot say, right, it is false. We cannot actually say that they are false. If the bodily pains and pleasures were false, the creation would be false also, and consequently, no one would take very much interest in it. The conclusion is that the material creation is not false or imaginary, but it is temporary. So, this is the second point, right? That the world is not false. The world is not false, because that's also another cosmic manifestation, they say. See, the second one. Second point is, their second conclusion is this cosmic manifestation is false. Just like, what do you call them? Mayavadis, right? They say this world is false. So Buddhists also say this world is false. No, it's not false. You see, it's simply the arguments are based on logic only here. Why it is not false? The world is, you're saying the world is false. So what is the logical argument? Uh, Your pains and pleasures of the body, they're real. You're actually feeling the pain and pleasure. Of course, there's an explanation about the false ego. I explained to you that from Shastra, but if it is sheer logic, if you're arguing with them on the basis of logic, when someone says this world is false, I'll tell you one story. This is very, very, well, maybe it's different, not exactly the same, but just once, this is in Prabhupada Leela not Prabhupada Leela one of the books, maybe Chasing the Rhinos from that. So I think they were in Kumbh Mela somewhere. Yeah, in Srila Prabhupada and the disciples. So Gurudas Prabhu, Gurudas Prabhu was there. So at night, uh, the devotees were staying in different places wherever they got accommodation. This was, I think, in the initial days when they still didn't have, but they were staying in different places. So Guru Das Prabhu was staying in one ashram. So in that ashram, the person sleeping next to him was a Mayavad philosopher. And you know, during Kumbh Mela, it's very, very cold. January, it's extremely cold. Uh, so that person, like he was, Gurudas Prabhu was feeling tired and he wanted to sleep, but he was really tired. But that person was arguing that, this world is false. Everything is just one. This is not, everything is one, right? It's based on that. They say this world is false, so nothing is real. There is only one. So this world is false means there's no variety. Actually, your perception that this is this, it is all false. Everything is false in this world, right? Only Brahman is real. Everything is false. It's all one. So Gurudas Prabhu tried to explain to him in so many ways, but he just kept arguing. So finally, what he did was, that person, because it was very cold, he was covering himself with a blanket. He just snatched the blanket away from that Mayavad philosopher and he said, everything is one, right? So this blanket also has no separate existence, right? You're cold, you're feeling cold, all this is all false. Nothing is like, all this is false. So you don't need this blanket. Now you just sleep. And he was shivering and shivering in the night. And finally, he surrendered and he said, I accept, it is not one. Please give me back my blanket. He surrendered. So he took the blanket and he slept. But of course, I think the next day again, he went back to speaking Mayavad philosophy once again. But Yes, the point here is Srila Prabhupada is saying that pains and pleasures, uh, i- if you're saying this world is false, then your pains and pleasures are also false. Why you take medication when you get pain? Why you eat when you're hungry? It's false, right? So Srila Prabhupada is saying, no, this body is not false. It is temporary. You shouldn't say it is false, but it is temporary. If the bodily pains and pleasures were false, the creation would be false also. Yeah, we'll accept that the creation is false if you say the bodily pains and pleasures are false. The conclusion is that the material creation is not false or imaginary, but it is temporary. Then, so each one, these 9 points, each one is being refuted. The third is I am is the truth. That means I am is the truth. I mean, it sounds absurd. On one hand, they say that their ultimate goal is annihilation. And on the other hand, they say that I, right, I am is the truth. So let's see. The Buddhists maintain that the principle I am is the ultimate truth, but this excludes the individuality of I and you. If there is no I and you or individuality, there is no possibility of argument, isn't it? Argument happens when there is two people, then there is argument. They say there is I, but they exclude you. So there is no two, I and you. The Buddhists maintain the principle I am is the ultimate truth, but this excludes the individuality of I and you, right? The individual soul, again, something like, everything is one. If there is no I and you or individuality, there is no possibility of argument. So why you are coming and arguing with me? The Buddhist philosopher is coming and arguing with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So if there is no two, who are you arguing with? The Buddhist philosophy depends on argument, but there can be no argument if one simply depends on I am, isn't it? That what is this verse saying? What is the shloka saying here? Tarka pradhana Bauddha Shastra Navamate Tarkei Khandila Prabhu Napare Sthapite. Tarka pradhana, for them, tarka, logic is main. Based on argument, he wanted to defeat. But if only I am is the truth, there is no second person, who will you argue with? Your whole basis, foundation of your philosophy is argument. But for argument, you need two. You will be arguing with another person. There must be a you or another person also. There can be no argument if one simply depends on I am. The philosophy of duality, the existence of the individual and the supersoul, must be there. This is confirmed in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita 2:12, wherein the Lord says, Natvevaham jatunasam natvam neme janadipaha nachaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayamatah param. Never was there a time when Krishna saying, I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings. That means everyone is an individual. The Lord is also an individual. You are an individual. He is an individual. Everyone is an individual person. Nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. And this individuality is not just in this material world. Now I am there, you are there because we have these bodies like the Mayavad philosophy. But after you give up this body, then, or when you're liberated, then everything is just one. There's no. Krishna is saying in future also. And future doesn't mean this material body's future. Because why you say, why not, why we cannot take that Krishna is talking about next life in this body? Because the previous verse, Ashocyananva shochastvam prajnavadamscha bhashase gatasun agatasumscha nanu shochanti panditaha. He already completely contradicted. I mean, not contradicted, defeated. He completely annihilated or defeated the point. Why you're feeling sorry for, oh, my grandfather will die, my this person will die. A pandita, Krishna is chastising. This is the first like actual instruction as a spiritual master Krishna gives, 2:11. Ashocha anvashochastvam. That topic for which a learned person will not lament, you are lamenting on that. Yet you are posing yourself like a great uh, learned person, like a great learned pandita. Ashocyan anvashochastam. On one hand, you're lamenting for that which is not worth lamentation, yet Ashocyan anvashochastam pragyavadamsha bhasase, yet you are talking like a great, intellectual or learned person. Gatasun agatasumscha. नानु शोचंती पंडिता. गतासुन अगतान. गता मीन्स जो जाने वाला है, अगतान मीन्स जो नहीं जाता है. दोनों के लिए, so that which you leave, that which goes and which doesn't remain, and that which remains, for both a pandita will not lament. What is it? That which you leave and go? This gross body. And what is it? That which with you stay? Subtle body. So for gross body and subtle body, a pandita will not lament. That means Krishna already completely uh, annihilated the idea of lamenting for anything material, either for the body or for when you say subtle body, that means subtle body carries you to the next body. He already rejected that idea of lamenting for future bodies also. When he said a pandita will not lament for agatasun, that which does not go means the subtle body. So you should not lament for, so subtle body is the one which is giving you future material bodies. Based on your subtle body, you're getting future bodies. And Krishna already defeated that. That no, you should not lament for, that means he's already rejecting the material platform. The next verse he's saying that my individuality, your individuality, individuality of all these people is eternally there. Matlab, it's there in future also. It's there in future also means it's not after this life, next life. He's talking about future means after liberation also. Everyone will remain individual. There is no question of becoming one mass and losing your individuality. Of course, somebody who wants that and who is practicing sadhana for that, the gyanis, because they're asking for that, the Lord is capable of doing anything. He'll say, okay, come. But it's not that everybody, after getting liberation, after getting out of this body, everyone will go and merge into one. No, it's not like that. It's not like that. So, uh, here, what was the argument? Mm. I am, right? I am is the truth, they're saying. So when you say I am is the truth, there should also be you. I, you, and all these. As Krishna is saying, Natvevaham jatunasam natvam na ime janadipaha na chaiva na bhavishyamaha. Matlab, there was never a time when I was not there, you were not there, and all these kings were not there. Nor will there ever be a time when all of us will not be there. That means we will always be there. We were there in the past, we are there now, we will be in future. And also when Krishna is saying I, obviously he's not talking about material bodies. He wouldn't say that. Krishna doesn't have a material body. I was there in the past, I am there now, I'll be there in the future. That means Krishna is talking about his individuality, means he's talking on the spiritual platform, individuality on the spiritual platform. He's not talking on the material platform. So, we existed in the past in different bodies, and after the annihilation of this body, we shall exist in another body. The principle of the soul is eternal, and it exists in this body or in another body. Even in this lifetime, we experience existence in a child's body, a youth's body, a man's body, and an old body. After all of us, I think, we have all been children at some point. We have all been young at some point. Now we are all, getting into old bodies also. So even in this lifetime, we experience existence in a child's body, a youth's body, man's body, and an old body. After the annihilation of the body, we acquire another body. The soul will remain. Huh? So the Buddhist cult also accepts the philosophy of transmigration, but the Buddhists do not properly explain the next birth. There are 8,400,000 species of life, and our next birth may be in any one of them. Therefore, this human body is not guaranteed. Okay? So, what Srila Prabhupada is saying, when you say I am is the truth, that's one of their tenets. I am is the truth. they don't explain that properly. They don't have a clear understanding of what that I am is. That's the point. The Buddhists do not properly explain next birth. Even though they accept rebirth, because they're explaining rebirth, but their ultimate goal is annihilation. Right? So I think we can stop here because there's still some more. We are going one by one. Those 9 conclusions we are discussing. Discussing meaning we are seeing how these 9 principles of the Buddhist philosophy are defeated by Mahaprabhu based on logic only, not based on Shastra, because that person was debating based on logic. Mahaprabhu is also defeating based on logic. So we will end here. Thank you very much. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Chakalpatarabhyascha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam.
Thank you,
Bhakti
Mataji.
Mataji ki jai. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Mataji. Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you so
Krishna.
much.